So I do have, I was like stressing out. I was like, I need to make something creative. I need to innovate. I need to experiment, try new things. And then I was like considering I haven't even like made a full video in a long time. It just seemed really daunting, and I was like, forget about it. I'm gonna do a show and tell. Do whatever I want. Because I'm trying to go easy on myself. But rest assured, new stuff is coming, and I did not forget any requests you've made. I personally really like show and tells. It's really cute to see what people get nerdy about, and it gives me the tingles. So, what I'm going to be showing you today is this PlayStation disc case. I have to get like a cute cover photo. So anyway, this was in my grandma's basement because the bank took my childhood home. So a lot of my possessions from childhood are in my grandma's basement. And a lot of my old video games I knew were over there in the basement, and I had asked my cousin to go down there and look for this case because there are very important things in here that I will show you. But she didn't find it. It wasn't among my video game stuff. And I was like, but I know it exists. I know it's somewhere. So when I was home over Christmas, I went into my grandma's basement and I looked around and I found it in a bag of books. It was with some books, not PlayStation stuff. And boy, am I glad I found it, because I have some things in here that I can't play on any other system. Any zipper sound fans in here? Show yourselves in the comments. Any zipper haters? Watch another video. Gosh, I miss staying up late and making ASMR videos. I love this. I'm so happy to be back with you. the last of like the classic Resident Evil games with the tank controls on the original PlayStation 1 and 2 before Resident Evil 4 changed everything. It's like pretty extravagant. Like it's all the B-movie wackiness of the first 3 games like jammed into this like 6 to 10 hour experience. I think it took me like 10 hours to beat the first time I did. Like it's like 2 to 3 times longer than the first 3 games, and I don't know. So here we have Claire Redfield, the one of the heroines of the series, and then we have Chris Redfield, who I hate, and it really grinds my gears when Resident Evil fans complain about how Resident Evil 7 wasn't Resident Evil, and I'm like, what did you want, Chris? He's barely human. He has no traits. He's just like, he's like a really tepid, like, action male. He is not humanized at any point throughout the entire series. He's a husk of a person, and yet people will complain about the beauty that is Resident Evil 7, because it wasn't Resident Evil. Clowns. Here we have The Suffering Ties That Bind, which is a sequel to the game The Suffering, which is like this really gaudy, grotesque, dark survival horror game where you're facing these like crazy like BDSM corpsey monsters in a prison. Yeah, and then the sequel, you get back to mainland Baltimore and things are still messed up in Baltimore. Yeah, it's a fun game. You get to choose, like, am I gonna be a good person or a bad person, and it affects your ending. How you treat the other human survivors. Okay. Back to the main topic of discussion here is Silent Hill 2. Yeah, so I'm just so happy I put this in my PS2 earlier today, and it works, and oh, am I so happy. I haven't played this version in like 10 years, and the HD remaster is like, I used to be like, this is fine, you know, and I beat this on that, but I've come back to it and I was like, it's unacceptable. Like they made graphical changes, like artistic changes that are awful and nonsensical, and like, why did you do that? Anyway, yeah, one of the best games of all time. Anyone will tell you that this is one of the best games of all time, and you know, I'm not one of those people who like has to insist that video games are art, but this game is an argument for game development as authorship, and the creation of games as an artistic process. But whatever, we're just gaming here. And as you may have seen, Resident Evil 4, pretty legendary game. Nothing compared to Silent Hill 2. This is not art, this is a really well-made schlock. The thing about Resident Evil was that it was supposed to always like imitate like a B movie. 2 and 3 though, I don't know, anyway. So Resident Evil 4 like found a way to do that. This game is like, it's like a corny action movie, but it holds up pretty well today. Like the action is pretty fun, it is pretty scary. The scariness mostly comes from like tension, you know, and all the intensity you have to face, but I actually pretty much don't care about any of these games except the Silent Hills, because the other like good ones in here are already on other platforms faithfully, like Resident Evil 4 I have on PS4, so yeah. Silent Hill 4, The Room. This is an interesting one. It's different from Silent Hill 2 and 3. It's not nearly as like fantasy characters and like shows them to an even larger audience, and I'm like, yes, Yuna, that's my girl. Here's that suffering I was telling you about. The suffering. I really, I think this game, just, besides what I already said, I think it like, it tackles like race in an interesting way. And like gender too, definitely, and like prison and stuff. And for a video game, it's interesting what this game depicts, because a lot of games don't depict stuff like that. I like video games. Don't question me. Don't fight with me. Just enjoy my videos. Now, if you're coming in and you want to actually like talk, then that's fine. If you want to like have a little friendly debate, cool, fine. I forgot I had this. The original Silent Hill. My aunt bought this when I was 4 or 5, and I watched her play the beginning of this, where you like descend into the alley and everything gets dark and you get killed by these little child things. I was so awestruck by how amazing that part of the game, like, so scary. I was like, this is brilliant. In many ways, this is my favorite of the whole Silent Hill series, because the PlayStation graphics add this level of uncanniness to it, and really beauty that gets lost as more realism is added, the stilted dialogue, and the soundtrack of this one is a little bit more like clangy and industrial than the other ones, and I don't know. Next we have Tomb Raider Anniversary. I think it's just a remake of the PS1 original Tomb Raider game, which I really love. I should play this. I never really even played this. It really sucks that like people would, like, I'd be a kid and people would buy me expensive things like video games, and I just like wouldn't play them. I wish I'd been a little less spoiled. Here we have Enter the Matrix. I was such a big Matrix fan from the ages of 8 to like 11. I first saw the Matrix when I was 8. My mom's boyfriend was in love with it and he showed it to me and I was blown away. And I don't know, it was just like all the elements of like, there's more than, I don't know, things aren't as they appear, and you can do so much more than what you think you can do, and like you can fight for a bigger cause, and like you can break through the dream, and I don't know, everyone understands, all the real Matrix fans understands. Enter the Matrix is a video game. Apparently it got bad reviews, but I was like 11 when I played this. I didn't know what a good game. I didn't know. I had a lot of fun with it. And I was just excited there was a Matrix video game finally, because you could do all the crazy martial arts and shoot the guns and run around and go into slow motion and stuff, and also Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions. I actually really like those ones. I remember the day after I saw the Matrix Revolutions when I was 10. I like cried all day the next day at school, because like it was over, and I was just like so sad that this grand beautiful thing was over, and like I don't know, I remember I was like crying at my desk, and my teacher was like, "Are you okay, Jacob?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I just kept crying. was one of my first ever video games. My aunt got a PlayStation when I was 4 years old. I have like a really good memory of my childhood, by the way, so I do remember this. She got a PlayStation when I was 4, and I remember my mom telling me, like, because I was going over to her house, she was like, Aunt Joyce got a Sony PlayStation, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm excited. And also I called it a salami PlayStation because I had no idea what Sony was, so I was like, okay, salami. Or salami PlayStation. So this was like one of her first games that she bought with her salami PlayStation. And she had this and Crash Bandicoot 2, and I don't know, I was so enamored of this game. Like, I just wanted to always watch her play it, and I was like, this is such a, I don't know what it was. It was the guns and the darkness and the zombies and I don't know what it was. I was so enamored of it, and I always have been of horror and stuff like that. It's really crazy. Like, I can't say what about this game caught my 4-year-old eye so much, but this and Silent Hill, I just felt it. I understood it. I can't put it in words. This game is cool because it's 2 discs. This is Leon, your main character Leon, and this is your main character Claire. And so you get to pick which one you play with, and when you beat it, you put in the other disc and you play the other scenario with this character. So like if you beat it with Leon, then you get to see what Claire was up to that whole time, and vice versa. And so if you beat it with Leon first, you beat Leon's A scenario. If it's second, it's his B scenario, which is different from his A. So like a lot of replayability. You essentially get 4 different scenarios to play in this game. Yeah, very like formative game for me. And crazy. This is my aunt's copy. Like this is the original. One of my first video games right here in the flesh. Speaking of, my second ever ASMR video was about, I still own the case for this game. It was a show and tell of the case for this game, and I thought the disc was lost, but it was here the whole time. So that is all I have to show you. Do you love my zipping? Do you love how that zips? Do you want me to zip you again? You ready to get zipped, baby? I hope y'all are a fan of zipper sounds, because if you're not, you're gonna suffer. That'll do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me as my lovely, beautiful fans. I am so grateful that people like actually look forward to me uploading and care that I put out new videos, and here you go. I have so much more free time now that I'm a lone wolf politically, and so I have so much time to make videos for all of you. Like I said, I do remember the requests you sent me. I am definitely going to do more reading, and actually my friend Johanna requested I do like a spooky reading of things that are like mild, because she doesn't like really scary and definitely not gory stuff, and I'm sure that's true of a lot of you. So like you'll get like a PG, maybe PG-13, abusive